For example, like my brother-in-law didn't want to go to college. He wants to be a plumber. He wants to own his own plumbing business. So this is amazing. I love this so much. Instead of going to college and burdening himself and his future family with debt, hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Kevin Kartchner, CEO of the Fight Against Mediocrity. And on this channel, we talk everything sales, business, real estate, self-development, so you can fight average and win the battle against mediocrity. I'm on the front lines with you, here to help you reach your potential. So today, I want to talk about something that I know I'm going to get a lot of hate and controversy for, but I love it. And the topic is college is a scam. Drop your comments below on what you think. I'm going to share with you my experience and kind of what I think. And stick around at the end, because at the very end of this video, I'm going to share some of the things that I think are pros about college. And actually, I'm going to share what I think the solution is, a different solution for college that I think could fix it. I truly believe there's a better way. There's a better way. So first, let me go into some of the negatives of college with that. So again, I studied accounting. Take this into consideration for a second. In order to graduate from Utah State University, you need to have 120 credits, hours of credit. And I mean, that roughly equates to, typically it takes people 4 years, some people 5. It took me about 3.5, 4, I guess, if you count the credits I did in high school. So 120 credit hours. I studied in the business program. In the business program and in college in general, they make you take lots of general credits that everyone has to take. Here's the thing. I graduated and applied for jobs with a bachelor's degree in accounting. But I only took 18 credit hours more than any other student who graduated with any other degree. I can put that into perspective. 18 credit hours of accounting, and I took 120 hours total. So I am supposed to be a specialist in accounting, but yet only 15% of my entire college education was accounting classes that no one else had to take. 18 credits, 15%. It never made sense to me. If my degree was in accounting, or whatever your degree is supposed to be in, why would it not be flip-flopped? Why would 85% of what I'm doing not be about accounting, and sure, 15% about some generals that would be important for me to know, that I may not want to learn otherwise. But logically, it just doesn't make sense. And the only thing that I can think about is colleges make more money the longer you stay. Number 2, the most asked question in all of my classes in my career in college was, drumroll, will this be on the test? And I always chuckled when people would ask this, because I thought to myself, like, you're spending a ton of money to be here, to learn, in my case, how to be an accountant, to run someone's books. Most of the program was funneling students into the big 4 accounting firms, which are the biggest accounting firms in the U.S. So you're going to be doing the work for them. And your question that you want to ask is, will it be on the test? And it teaches students to not be so concerned about understanding, but about memorizing and just getting what's going to be on the test. And I studied accounting because I always knew I wanted to own my own business. So I wanted to be able to run the numbers or not run the numbers, but know what the numbers meant. Accounting is the language of business. And I don't think it really helped me accomplish that. The fact that it teaches so much for memorization. And in my tax class, we read a book, basically a big textbook for my tax class. And I sat there and I thought, why, instead of reading a book, why don't you go tell the general public around the campus that for the next 3 months, college accounting students will do their taxes for free. and they bring in their taxes. You'd probably have to cater it to maybe a little bit more simple taxes. You probably wouldn't be able to do big businesses, and they wouldn't want an accounting student to do it anyways. You could have people bring in their taxes, and for 3 months, instead of reading a book, you can have some supplemental information from the textbook, maybe things that we wouldn't see. But for 3 months, just let us do taxes. And for all I care, maybe don't make it free. Maybe charge them $15. And then you're making money. The college is making money from the tax students doing the taxes, and the consumer is still getting a really good deal. And I think there's just different things like that it's a lot of theory. 15% of the whole program was specialized. And the most asked question was, will this be on the test? And school inherently, any type of school from kindergarten through a doctorate's degree, teaches you that failure is a bad thing. They intentionally will send out emails and say, hey, if you want to drop your class, if you're not doing well in this class and you want to drop it before it goes on your transcript, this is the deadline. And it's almost like, hey, don't fail. Do anything but fail, drop it, quit, but don't fail. And in business and in real life, the opposite is true. In order to learn, in order to grow, you have to fail. And so it's just so funny. It's so twisted. It's so backwards. It just doesn't make any sense. So fast forward, I graduated in accounting. I got a job in accounting for a year and then transitioned into sales. That's another story. I cover it in other YouTube videos. But I feel like the only reason I got an accounting job out of school was because of all my experience, because I worked during school. And I was able to show them, hey, this is the actual work that I'm doing. And so my point around that is I think experience goes a lot further. And Google and companies like Google and Tesla actually don't even care if you have a degree. They really just look at your experience and what you've done. So fast forward, graduate from accounting, get into sales, do real estate, new home construction sales. And for some reason, when I was 19, I really wanted to get a master's degree. And so I set the goal, and basically out of just wanting to hit the goal, I started researching MBA programs. And one of my buddies was like, dude, please do not do an MBA. It is the worst investment you can make in yourself. Like, please don't do it. And I asked another person, they're like, I have one, I wouldn't do it. Both of these people had one and they said not to do it. And so I'm starting to think, like, if they've done it and they didn't like it, there's got to be something to this. I ended up finding a master's program called the Masters of Real Estate Development at the University of Utah. And the reason I liked that so much is because it was what I was doing, and what I eventually wanted to do was develop commercial properties, and that's what it was surrounded by. So I looked into it. I actually was able to skip taking the GMAT because of experience I had, which was really good, really smart of them to allow me to do that. And some of the things that I liked about this program versus my undergrad was every professor that I had was a working professional. And I don't think they were getting paid very much, so it wasn't like they were doing it for the money. They were truly doing it because they wanted to give back and teach the students practical real estate advice that they were working on. We would go tour properties of the developers that were our teachers, who are literally have developed billions of dollars of real estate out there teaching us. So in college, where I'd ask some questions to my accounting professors and they didn't have any working accounting experience, so they would just say, I really don't know, to going to a real estate program where my professors develop billions of dollars of real estate and can say, this is what we do, this is who we use, this is what you should do. It was very refreshing. I will say it was maybe a little more relaxed. Like, I think it was easier than my undergrad experience. I wish I could have skipped my undergrad experience and went straight to the Masters of Real Estate Development program, which is called the MRED. Obviously, the system is not set up for that to happen right now, but I think that would have been ideal, like being able to skip that whole thing. And I would have learned a lot more if I would have just been thrown at an accounting job and just worked my way up and learned there than spending 4 years doing 85% of things that weren't even in my degree. Like, for 4 years, 85% of what you were doing is not even related to what's going to show up on your diploma. Boggles my mind. So there was a post by, it's Minds of Entrepreneurs Instagram. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth one down is college isn't a scam. And it's just saying like, quit calling everything that doesn't work for you a scam. And I just threw in there like kind of joking, but kind of serious, like college is a scam though. And I actually got like quite a few comments back. One person was like, thanks for beating me to it. A few were like, yeah, I agree. It is overpriced or whatever. But I was surprised at how many people were like, no, I don't agree with you. And they were very blunt. They're like, tell that to doctors, nurses, architects, engineers, teachers who love their passion. Just because you think it is doesn't mean it is the same for others. People are simply different. And he spelled people P-P-O-L. So maybe he would be one who would benefit from college. I don't know. But another person said it was in favor of what I was saying. Like, it doesn't need to be that expensive. Another person, same thing. They say, would you want a pilot who learned how to be a pilot from YouTube? And so they're saying basically like skilled trades, you need college. And this is where I'm going to share what my solution for this problem that is college. Yes, you're right. You shouldn't be able to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a computer. There's a lot of trades, I don't know, engineers, doctors, lawyers, pilots, accountants who need specialized training. What these people are saying is college is that specialized training. Now, what I'm saying is I agree they need specialized training. College isn't the way to do it. If it's the same thing that happened to me, 85% of what they're doing isn't even helping them become a better doctor. And here's the other thing. You can be a doctor or a pilot or any of these things and get C's and still graduate. So for example, I had a dentist who clearly, I went to him once and then like 2 weeks later, his office was empty and another dentist had come in. And it was very apparent that he was not there anymore because he was not doing a good job and had got kicked out of the franchise. And the market will tell you that. Like the market will tell you what's good and what's bad, which goes into my point. Specialized education is important. It shouldn't be done through college. To become a pilot, there are courses outside of college that will teach you to become a pilot that only teach you to become a pilot. You don't have to learn about, I don't know, the history of France to become a pilot. And for example, like my brother-in-law didn't want to go to college. He wants to be a plumber. He wants to own his own plumbing business. So this is amazing. I love this so much. Instead of going to college and burdening himself and his future family with debt, he said, I'm going to be a plumber. Started working for a plumbing company who pays him to plumb, pays him, pretty well, a fair market wage, probably a little bit above average, pays him to work. While he's working, he's learning the skill that he's going to do later on. And not only that, they're paying for him to go to a technology or a school that teaches him how to be certified as a plumber. So getting paid to go to school, they're paying for a school, and it's a specialized school. He's not having to learn about things that aren't going to help him become better at his business. Now, you might say like, well, he's not going to learn about grammar or geography or whatever. Then he can take it. If he really wants to learn that, let him decide, and he can go find a course that specializes in that. That'll teach him that. And I just think even for doctors and nurses and lawyers, I think there's such a better way to be able to have a specialized schooling for what they need to learn. And again, I think it's amazing what Google and Tesla are stepping up and saying, hey, we finally realized just because we hire someone out of Harvard doesn't mean they're going to be a rock star. Like it just doesn't. Basically for college, all you do is check the boxes. So my solution is specialized training, which I actually do. I know tons of people who do it. I've benefited from it. And so I truly believe in it. I think it'll definitely be the way of the world in the next 3 to 5 to 10 years. Okay, to end, I do want to point out a couple of positives from schooling. I don't want to just bash on it. there are a few positives. I would say the biggest positive, probably the only one I'm going to touch on, is networking. There are a lot of people who meet individuals and network with individuals at school, in college, who either end up becoming their business partner, their spouse. They learn something from someone who makes an impact in their life. So there's a lot of good around being around people. And I would say that was especially true for my real estate degree, because I basically know every major player in real estate in Salt Lake now. That's pretty cool to say. And I think if you were to put a price tag on that outside of school, it would probably be more than what I paid for the degree. And so I think that was really cool. I think networking is one of the biggest benefits to going to school. Networking, meeting people, meeting future companions, meeting business partners. And so if you're in school and you're going to do school and that's the right path for you, now ask yourself the question, I'm in school right now. What's my goal for 5 years? Is this getting me there? If it is, awesome. Do it. Make sure you take advantage of networking, join clubs, go to the extracurricular activities where they have professionals come in and talk. Take advantage of those opportunities. Those are some of the most prized experiences I have and memories I have of my college experience. Go talk to your professors who have actual experience working in the profession. Ask them questions and network. Anyways, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the comments below, whether you think college is a scam or not, your experience. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate. That's fine. I love it. Bring on the hate. Again, if you want to learn more about what we do at the Fight Against Mediocrity, check out thefightagainstmediocrity.com to order our book, look at our courses, and connect with us. Order cool apparel. Again, we just want to provide as much value as we can and make your life as good as possible while fighting mediocrity and reaching your maximum potential. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.